Hey guys, welcome back to Pony Panels. And yes, I did read a couple more, which we're about caught up with the main series. So, let's move on to the next set of comics called The Good, the Bad, and the Ponies. Wah, wah, wah. Sorry, you have to do that every time there's a title like that. We're we're off to a brand new city here, a brand new wild western town. Canter Creek is the name, and Applejack has a relative there, naturally, named Chili Pepper, who has the hottest chili peppers in all of Equestria, which apparently Pinkie Pie can eat a lot of, although it does give her fire breath. Huh. I guess there's even a limit to what Pinkie Pie can eat. But there seems to be a problem. A group of wolves known as the cattle rustlers have been wrecking the town repeatedly, led by a somewhat smarmy but actually smart bull named Longhorn. And when the evil bulls decide to run through the town again with the Harmony 6 in tow and decide to give Applejack a smackdown, it seems the battle is on, and naturally, Applejack isn't intimidated because, well, she's got an Alicorn Princess as a best friend. Except we find out one of the weirdest equestrian rules ever stated. And this is one of the reasons why non-canonism. Here is the basic rule. A magical being, i.e. like alicorns, cannot use their magic against living beings or animals, i.e. bulls, cows, and the like. This rule is stressed about 3 times, which made me curious as to why that is. Perhaps it was a law established by the unicorn people. Maybe it's a joint agreement between the alicorns that this rule is in place. But, by the by, a lot of fans see this rule as a break in the comic's logic. Instead, we don't know any background on this rule, or why it was established, why it was used, and whether Celestia actually made the rule up as she went along. Who knows what exactly is the pretense of the rule? But instead of talking about the pretense of the rule, let's look at its application. It's actually somewhat logical. It's fair. It's equal, which seems to be a lot of the basic rules of Equestria break down into. Something that is more equal, more fair, and gives everybody a fair shot. Trust me, if magical alicorns could just sit there and lay the smackdown on every living creature that ever broke a law ever, trust me, there'd be a lot of unicorns running the house. It keeps the balance of things, is what I'm saying. When you have an overpowered race while the other races don't have the overpower, you kind of have to judge it. in a certain way. And the rule expressed here in this comic certainly expresses it. So, without the magical smackdown rule in play, Try and the rest of the girls try to find more clever ways to keep Longhorn out of the town, away from wrecking it. But every plan fails. Everything from trying to get a legally binding contract to setting up fences to try to get the town slightly moved. Everything fails, much to Rainbow Dash's meta chagrin. But here's the real big thing about this comic. Longhorn is actually smart. Why? Because he knows of all the tricks that the Harmony Six are trying to pull. He knows every single one of them. And he knows how to use the actual legal system to his advantage. He even gets control at one point over the entire plot of land in part 2. It seems like not every villain can just be beaten because it says so. Which leads to the rest of the townspeople giving up on never having their town back. But leave it to Twilight to have one more clever plot up her hoof. By actually getting the town registered along with the Choy Pepper Ranch as an historic site by Princess Celestia herself, we find the break in that little rule I mentioned. See, that magical smackdown rule doesn't apply when historical landmarks are at threat. And unfortunately for Longhorn, finding out that the town and the ranch are an historic site pisses him off enough where he wants to go wrecking it anyway. Bad decision, because then Twy and Rarity decide to, well, do what many fans said they should have done from the very beginning, if not for said rule. This comic does excellent in the art department, and Longhorn and his cattle rustlers are actually clever villains. Every character is in perfect sync as per the usual, and well, let's be honest, the resolution at the end is actually classic Twilight cleverness done very well. But the one character of the Harmony Six that sticks out in this comic is Applejack. I've never seen Applejack actually want to do something that doesn't involve apples ever in the history of this series. And this comic is her first time actually wanting to kick the smack out of somebody. And for good reason, I mean family and all. And of course, this is a beautiful companion piece to episodes like Over a Barrel and Appaloosa's Most Wanted for bringing a truly wild western feel to the town. And if you're wondering where Spike is during all this commotion, he's at a Pony Trek convention. Yes, he's a nerd. In that way. Vis-a-vis, this is a great 2-issue comic set. And the next, I would say, is the next in a set of must-reads for the main series comic. That's why, despite the magical rule against living beings, I found I found this comic richly entertaining in a lot of ways. If you can get past that plot contrivance, the comic is actually quite excellent and shows our characters at their best. That's why I give the good, the bad, and the ponies on this episode of Pony Panels a perfect 6. Go read it and just ignore the plot contrivance, and you'll have yourself a heck of a lot of fun. But the plot contrivance does bring up a spark of thought, though. Are there magical rules? Looks like I'm gonna have to look in on that. Until next time, find peace in your own nirvana. Thanks for watching.